Hello everyone, my name is Deckerling, the trained unprofessional, and welcome to my bedroom. I don't usually film in here, and I have not done so from this angle so far. The reason I haven't is not because of the magnificent lighting, and the fact that it accentuates my extremely lazy eye. Oh shit! I would be filming in my normal spot in the living room, but we were gonna have some friends over, and so we started to cook an amount of food that could feed all of us. And then they canceled because it snowed out, even though it stopped snowing. But it's still dangerous to drive in slush, so I understand that. And then we just kept cooking the same amount of food just for us because this body don't maintain itself. So I'm going to be in here with the old setup with no microphone. I don't have my computer set up. I don't have any of that stuff. And not that most of you noticed a change in the audio anyway, so I guess we'll just have to deal with that. That, and I did just wake up, so my face hasn't properly set in yet, because I sleep on my face, so I wake up and like half of the shit's way up there. Not pleasant, not pleasant, but I just watched, literally, I would show you, but the fucking screen went black, but I literally just finished watching Jake DeFennick's video about the Jasonifex thing with the comic, and I will be talking about that more in detail in Part 2. I am announcing a Part 2 to this video, and I haven't even started the Part 1 yet. He's a YouTuber now. Oh, shit. This is a video that I promised I was going to do, like, a long time ago, back when it was relevant, but I figured I might as well do that because I'm slowly starting to get over the sickness that I've been having for months. I know, it's been a long fucking time. Trust me, I've been there the entire time. Also, in case you're wondering as to my friend over there, no, we did not replace Wolfie. If you're not familiar with Wolfie, show the clip. Wolfie! This is Woofus, named after the Woofus. So, on my second channel, Decker Jack, I put out a video back in November called My First Fur Meet. And it was describing my first time getting together with furries. Now, people's first fur meets usually are like, sometimes they do like fur bowling or something. I know Ascari Husky does that a lot. He goes to bowling with furries. That sounds fucking amazing, right? But I live in the middle of fucking nowhere, so you take your opportunities where you can get them, whether they sound fun or not. And there's a group called, like, KC Furs. It's about, like, Kansas City furries. And I'm close to there. I'm about an hour away, so you can decide if that's close or not. But I decided I wanted to try going to their weekly event where they meet up and have pizza, and that's it. Like, I didn't expect it to be a party, and you can hear me talk more at length about the event itself on that video. It's a driving vlog, so it's a bit rambly, but that's what that channel's for. As if I don't ramble all the fucking time on this one, too. The reason I bring it up is because one of the very, very few things they actually did to try to introduce everyone to each other was asking how everyone got into the furry fandom. And still got to deal with that shit, by the way. Still burping a lot. What would a Deckerlink video be without incessant belching? Good quality content, probably. Yeah, well, that's not gonna fucking happen anytime soon. My answer to that question is certainly one packed with a lot of implications, because my actual introduction to the furry fandom, not my introduction to being a furry, but my introduction to the furry fandom was by playing Amorous on this channel, because as some of you might know who are fans of the series, and I know there were a lot of you, because y'all are gone now. Well, not all of you, but a lot. A lot of people left, and I don't blame them for it, because if a channel is doing a thing that you like, and then they stop doing the thing that you like, it's kind of fucking obvious that you leave. I don't take that personally at all. But when I said my introduction to the fandom was Amorous, they knew that game, and they didn't know what to say to that. Because the people who know what the game is, it is basically porn. Like, there's a slight plot to it, sort of, to each individual character that has nothing to do with any of the other characters, but yeah, it's basically just there for the porn, which nothing against porn, obviously. I am not against porn, but if you say you got into the furry fandom because of the porn, you're basically saying that you got into, like, NASCAR because you liked watching the crashes. It's a bit of a, you don't want to, I don't know. Needless to say, I haven't been back to one of those pizza meetings. It was even obvious to me then that Amorous had a bit of a reputation about it that was not favorable, to drastically underestimate it. Underestimate? Understate it. Understate? It didn't say it right. Fuck. Even in the series, people who watch the series will know that there was a good few moments where I had to blatantly say at the beginning of a video, I'm not endorsing Jason-FX, I'm not endorsing Caviar, I'm not endorsing anything they've done or whatever, I'm just trying to play a fucking game. And that can only work for a while, because after a certain point, you have to realize that when you broadcast what you're doing in using someone else's material, even if it is transformative and therefore fair use and all that other shit, and it is something different, it becomes an advertisement of sorts. And almost practically an endorsement. My most viewed video on YouTube of all time was the video that got me flagged. It was the updated sex scenes video. It had 80,000 motherfucking views. That is insane. I've never had that amount of views before, and it really was an incentive to try to keep the channel not hiding Amorous, but I never felt right sharing my channel to people because, you know, people see furry, whatever, but then the first episode of Amorous was called Surprise Furry Porn Game, and if anyone clicked on an episode of, say, Repeat accidentally, or they were just wondering about it, they could see it was more about the plot than anything else. Same for extracurricular activities, despite the art style. But with Amorous, it's bloody obvious from the get-go that it is more about the After Effects porn jiggle than anything else, much like the rest of Jason-FX's work. So yeah, my video got flagged, and I was sad about that, and I basically decided at that point that it was time that I needed to address the feeling I had about my channel that I really did not like, which was that I seem to have a reputation of sorts of being basically the porn channel, and as opposed to visual novels or even a gaming channel of sorts. It was, this is the channel that plays porn games. And I don't have any problems with porn, but the problem is that that's not what I want to be associated with. And it's not because I think being associated with porn is a bad thing, it's just not what I wanted to do. I love playing games like Repeat or Echo or any of that stuff because they emphasize story over anything sexual. While they don't shy away from the sexual content, they don't define itself by it, like Amorous did. And as such, I would much rather be associated with those works than with Amorous, which is basically just porn with a plot. At first, I wanted to just try to censor the sex videos, because if my manual censoring of putting the bad apple, the bad fruits, fruit bats, there we go, in front of any naughty bits, or putting Super Boo or whatever the fuck, putting something in front of it but not blurring anything out or not taking out any audio or not doing anything else was not working, then obviously I had to go overboard. And all I really need is an excuse to go overboard sometimes, and then I'll just do the fucking thing I want that is just silly. The problem was depicting sex, even though it wasn't because you couldn't see anything. I had to make it almost unrecognizable in terms of anything actually happening. And thus, the massive blurring and the YouTube's run by Puritans over the screen, and that's basically what that was in response to. And then I got another problem, not a flag, but I did get a warning about those videos not even being bad enough because I was still describing sex. I was still playing any sounds of sex that was happening with them. And so on the second channel, Decker Jack, I put out an even more censored version where I just cut the scene entirely and replaced it with a face of me looking mad. And that's what you see there now, and that's not exactly what I would call quality content, and it surely is an annoyance, at least to people who enjoyed those scenes, and trust me, I enjoyed them too. There were a lot of good moments for them. And then, in the middle of me uploading all of the videos onto my second channel, and I know that was annoying to a lot of people, having to upload all of my content over to Decker Jack, and then the whole JasonFX email shtick happened. This is not going to be an op-ed about what happened with any specific thing in terms of what terrible thing JasonFX did this week, but needless to say, it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. This combined with all the other shit that not only have I heard, because you can only take hearsay so far, but the stuff I've seen from him and the stuff that he is admitted to doing, a lot of it's just too much. It's too much for me to justify having a series that objectively I wasn't even a fan of. The Amorous series, because there were two good routes in my opinion. Seth and Jax. Every other route fucking sucked in my opinion. There were good moments in all of them, but they were overwhelmingly terrible, especially the later ones. And so I was just constantly playing this game because I knew it would get views and because I was hoping it would be good again, and it just wasn't. All the while giving advertisement to this game, to the creator of the game, because I'm doing a series on it, and thousands of people were watching. So I just couldn't justify being, even in a small way, because I'm not going to over-exaggerate my impact on the development of the series. I quite clearly am not the only one playing it, nor am I the most popular, nor am I even fucking important in the long run in any sense. But, much like the reason why I have the National Suicide Prevention Hotline in every description of every video I put out now, if even one person sees it and is made aware of the fact that they can do a thing, then your impact has been sealed. You have made that impact. In a good way for the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, or in a bad way of someone being introduced to the work of a fucking dipshit who doesn't know how to treat people properly. So I deleted the whole fucking series, and I got a lot of offers from people like, oh, I'll host it on another website, or I'll do this, I'll do that, and I was like, no, I want the series gone. I don't want anyone to, I don't want it to be a part of what I do. I don't want, because objectively, it's not a good game. Objectively, it's made by not a good person. Objectively, the writing sucks. The animation's okay at points. It's very inconsistent. And there's almost no plot to speak of, and the sex is kind of boring. It's just the same few frames of animation sped up at some points, and then bad effects for anything else. It's better than still images, granted, but if you're gonna be porn with a plot, it better be good porn, and maybe have a good plot. That would be nice. So all in all, I didn't really like the series, I don't really like the game, and I really don't like the creator of it, so I got rid of the series. And that all happened before the latest shit. And the latest shit is what the second part of this whole thing is going to be about, which is JasonFX's terrible comments on a comic someone put out about childhood abuse. And it's also going to kind of be a response to Jake the Fennec's response to the whole thing. Needless to say, it's not favorable. I'm not mad at Jake the Fennec. I'm not, I believe we're to the point where we can have disagreements. I'm not going to be disrespectful to him, because people can have different opinions. I don't give a shit. But, it's because I don't really think his opinions are hateful or bigoted or anything like that. JasonFX, on the other hand, yeah, so we'll talk about that. But after this point, I really don't want to waste my oxygen on this person, because I could be using the few moments I have in a day where I don't feel like I'm going to pass out or die because of all the shit I'm going through and how sick I've been, to actually play a game that people want me to play that isn't completely lacking of substance and is just a hollow excuse to get views. And I'd really like to do those because a lot of them got updates recently, and I really want to play those games. But, like I said, I can't really record in the living room where my whole setup is because there's a fryer going on out there and a lot of noise, and she's watching a movie and all this other stuff. So, can't really do that right now. Not only that, but even just sitting here for this long has fucking given me a lot of pain, and I've edited out a lot of unpleasantness, to say the least. And so, yeah. So I will see you in part 2, and then after that, I'm not going to talk anymore about just sound effects or any other shit that goes along with them, because quite honestly, they have wasted enough of my goddamn time already. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, I have been the trained up professional, speaking for the voices on my head and the oddly changing lighting, because I'm right in front of a window for the first time in a while. When I say until next time, fare thee well. Bye, everyone!